Alright, so Star Citizen Alpha 4.5 has been out for a couple of weeks now, and I've been able to play quite a bit, especially thanks to the end of the year holidays, in which I have to work a little bit less. And so I have identified 10 weaknesses, I would say, that CIG need to fix in order to improve the condition of the game so that we can have a better experience. And of course, I will also put some of the links for the issue councils if you too want to contribute in the description down below. So, first, I want to talk about something that we haven't seen for quite some time, and these are 30Ks.
I'm getting a 30K!
Yeah, 30Ks were, we thought, a relic of the past, which is where we had some servers that just got disconnected and we were losing all of our game progress. Well, now we don't have that anymore, or so we thought, because now when servers were crashing, well, server meshing would just take us to another server inside the shard. So the shard would just create a new server where the location is taking place, where we are in the game, and so that is how CIG thought that they would mitigate the problem. The issue is that in Star Citizen Alpha 4.5, we are getting into some situation in which it's the entire shard that is shutting down, creating 30Ks, and so resulting in the loss of our progress. And I really hope that CIG are going to spend some time to fix that, because otherwise it's going to frustrate quite a lot of people. Recently, I've had quite a few of them, as I said. The frequency is about once every 3 days, so that is still quite a lot compared to what we were accustomed to. Alright, next I'm going to talk about ship spawning issues here. There's nothing more frustrating, I think, right now than spending 30 minutes or 45 minutes preparing a ship for example, a multi-crew operation. Let's say you prepare a Polaris, you put some support vehicles inside, you fill the Polaris here with some med gel and some additional crates with supplies for your expedition, and then the ship randomly disappears. Sometimes it just disappears inside your hangar, sometimes it disappears outside of the hangar, and it's just something that should never happen. Now, if you're lucky, it's going to be stored in local inventory, so you just can take it back, but if you're unlucky, it will be in an unknown state, meaning that you have to claim the ship and lose everything that would have been inside, and that's very unfortunate. Also, I've noticed that sometimes the ASUP terminals are also not working properly, so that also can leave you stranded. Let's say you don't have a lot of ships, for example, and all of the ships, the few ships that you have, cannot be claimed, they cannot even spawn in your local hangar. That means that you are stranded, leaving you with no choice but to perform a character repair on the website. Luckily, it's something that we can do, but it's still not optimal, and it still ruins the gameplay session that you would have planned. After that, I want to talk about bed logout. It would be great if we could just leave our session in a ship bed and then eventually come back exactly where we are in the ship in which we were with all the loadout that we had. Unfortunately, I've had a couple of issues here with ship logout that prevented that from happening. First, you just do your regular ship logout. You go into the ship bed, you click on logout, and you leave the game the proper way. And then when you come back, you are at the station or your starting landing zone. This has happened to me a few times, and that again is not something that should be happening. But the worst is perhaps when you're trying to do everything properly and there's no bed logout option on the prompt. There's just a get up option. This is something that happened to me in my Cutlass, for example. And although some people have told me in the Rat Club on Discord that there are several options, several prompts in the Cutlass, I have never seen them, so I suppose that probably not the only one, and I think that it should be working a bit better. Now, I know that currently bed logout is a temporary solution. CIG did mention that in the future they would like us to just leave the game and then go back to exactly where we were when we come back, without going through the process of doing the bed logout thing. So maybe that's why CIG haven't looked into fixing that, because, well, eventually it's going to go away and it's going to be obsolete. So I think that this is the reason, but still, in the meantime, that solution is not implemented. We don't have any time frame as of when this will be in the game eventually. So maybe they could make the effort to at least make our lives a little bit easier. I mean, we just had an entire year of playability, so it's a bit unfortunate that after 1 year of playability, we can still not 100% reliably go back to where we were after logging out properly. Another issue that I've noticed, and this is when I was doing some ASD sandbox activities with my buddies of the Rat Club in Pyro, NPCs tend to be overspawning. And that is especially true at the Lazarus facilities, but also the data center, the Faro data center on Pyro 4. And I think that it's okay to have a challenge at these locations because they have loot, because they can really get us to some fantastic moment. Eventually you get to kill the Valakar, right, and you get all of the Valakar Pearls and Valakar Fangs that then Wikelo we want to have, and maybe we can have some of those very nice ships with the nice components. I get it, right? It's okay to make these places challenging, but at the same time, it's not okay if there are hundreds, if not thousands of NPCs that spawn there over the course of the time you spend at these locations. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to have like entire armies of NPCs fighting players here, constantly respawning. It's just not very realistic. In the future, CIG did say that when we're going to have Star Sims, NPCs are going to live their own lives. I really don't know how they're going to implement all those bunker missions and all those sandbox activity missions with NPCs. Are these NPCs too going to have their own lives? What happens when we kill them? Are they just going to randomly spawn just because we're there and because it's part of an instant situation that we're going to have eventually further down the line? I don't know, but as of right now, it would be nice if CIG could perhaps tune down the amount of NPCs that would load. That would definitely be a nice little balancing act. Another mission here that is problematic in Star Citizen Alpha 4.5 are the drug lab missions. Maybe some of you have done it in a Stanton system and also in the Pyro system as well. It's more like the drug lab asteroid base over there. I have never been able to complete a single drug lab mission. Every single time these missions have been bugged. It's a 100% failure rate at this point here because there are always some drug crates that just don't spawn, or it's like the number of drug cartons or drug bags that you are destroying doesn't match the gauge that you have on the top right, and so as a result the missions cannot be completed. There's always a tiny percentage left. It's either 11%, 7%. The lowest I've been to was like 2%. I've been going through every single area of the bunker thinking, where are those last 2% boxes? Did they fall down or something? Maybe they spawned outside of the bunker, I don't know, but it's extremely frustrating, and as a result you always fail the mission. It's ruining your reputation, you're wasting your time, and CIG needs to do something about that. Maybe they can reduce the amount of bags that we have to destroy, or maybe we can just submit the result inside the Mobiglass, something that we can do with other missions as well. So let's say there's only 2% left, means we have destroyed 98% of the crates. We can submit that and we get 90% or 98% of the payout and 98% of the reputation. That would perhaps be a nice little workaround. All right, after that we're going to talk about trespassing at the distribution centers after you finish some missions. It's also something that I've experienced quite a lot, and I have been to prison because of this quite a lot, and that's actually not right. So especially when you do some bounty hunting missions or some eliminate all missions inside the storage facilities of the distribution centers, you have to leave the storage facility. The problem is that in the past, well, we used to have like a timer, usually 30 minutes, that would allow us to have plenty of time to leave the distribution center and go about our business. Now it's not the case anymore. Now, as soon as you finish the mission and you are still at the heart of the distribution center, you are considered as trespassing. Not only do the local NPCs hunt you down, but because you are in Stanton, there's also it's also a monitored space, so you cannot defend yourself. You cannot kill the NPCs who are wrongfully trying to attack you. If you do, this will only add additional time that you are going to be spending in prison. Yes, because when they do kill you, you are sent to prison. Not for if you do nothing, if you don't respawn, you're going to be sent to prison for just like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. It's a very short time, so that's still okay. It's frustrating because you're also losing your shit that's being destroyed by turrets, but at least it's 10 minutes, right? If you are responding and if you are fighting back, you are going to be sent to prison for a much longer period of time, and that can definitely ruin your day, especially if you had planned to have another gaming session maybe further on the line. At the end of the day, you're back in prison because you have X amount of hours to spend there. Now, sure, you can always mine, you can try to escape. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to bother with that. I just want to play the game the way I want to play, especially if it's not my fault. So it would be great if CIG could also fix here that issue, that trespassing issue inside distribution center. Alright, next is something completely different. I want to talk about party markers. Now, for those of you who have played with me at the Rad Club, usually we play every Monday night together, American time. In Asian time here, it's Tuesday mornings. Sometimes we have other sessions as well if I have time, or you guys play together without me, that's also okay. But one thing that we have always noticed is that party markers are extremely unreliable in Star Citizen Alpha 4.5. It's very annoying when you are in large areas, like for example the ASD facilities, or you're doing the QV station missions in Nix as well, right? You're trying to see where all your mates are because you don't know the facility, you're gonna get lost, you're trying to find where the objectives are, and you don't know where everybody is. Worst of all, there's sometimes, instead of people's names, there's like a little triangle, a blue triangle, but it also disappears very randomly, right? So you can also end up killing your own party members because you thought that they were NPCs. It's also very annoying. In addition, sometimes the missions will also not share. People who are in parties are expelled from parties for random reasons, right? So there are some issues here with parties that CIG need to be fixing, especially since they are always promoting group gameplay and they want us to do some multi-crew. All of that is great, right? But it would be also nice if the in-game tools would be working properly. Alright, speaking of multi-crew, how about we talk about capital ships? Capital ships have had some pretty bad sound issues. Maybe some of you have experienced that. Maybe some of you have a Polaris or an Idris. I haven't tried the 890 jump because the engines don't work. At least the quantum engines don't work, so I haven't been able to do anything with my 890 jumps. But with Polaris and also the Idris, especially after a couple of minutes here, the sound starts to break and stutter, and eventually you completely lose your game sound. And after that, the next step is a crash to desktop. And it's not just me, it's been happening to everybody who's been in the capital ships. I've tried that with multiple people across different time zones, and it's always the same issue. Once again, I'll put the issue council link down there in the comment section down below. Make sure to also contribute if this is something that has happened to you. Alright, the next one is something that's going to be completely different. It is access to PTU. It may surprise some of you here, but I have not been able to try engineering until the official release of Star Citizen Alpha 4.5. I did try every single day to join the PTU. I'm a concierge member. I am also a subscriber. I subscribe because I'm as a content creator. CIG does not give me access to ships in advance. I don't have any of that. CIG does not give me any ships for giveaway. I have to do everything on my own, and so the only way that I have at my disposal here to be on the same page as everybody else is to be a subscriber, so I can at least, maybe not in Evo Caddy, but at least experience the new stuff that's coming as early as everybody else who have access thanks to CIG. The problem is that it's not just me. I thought maybe I was being shadow banned, but it's not that. My access to PTU was never granted. I've never received the email telling me that my account was copied, and every time I've tried, it said that I have to copy my account, which I did multiple times, and it just never worked. And there's been other people who've had this issue, not just for Star Citizen Alpha 4.5. I've read issues on Reddit where people have had this issue for the entire year, so that means Alpha 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, and then 4.5. They've never been able to try in the PTU. And well, it would be great because we're actually paying money to have access to wave 1 in PTU, so it really sucks that we can't because of technical issues. And well, I'm not saying that I want my money back for subscription because it also gives other perks, sure, right? But for me, the main reason why I'm a subscriber is because I need to have that wave 1 access to create that content on the channel for you guys, and and it doesn't work, so that's very annoying. And I'm sure that there are other people who are in the same situation, maybe not because they want to create content, maybe they just want to try the game, they want to contribute, they're very excited about what's coming, they want to see that as early as possible, and they just can't, and that's very frustrating. All right, last one here, it's a bit more trivial. We're going to talk about Wikelo here. I can't believe that after all these months in which Wikelo has been in the game, we still have to do everything mission by mission. I've tried to get my first Wikelo vehicle the other day, using the script, converting the script into Wikelo favors, and then eventually getting just a simple Nox, right? So I just need 4 Wikelo favors, and to have 4 Wikelo favors, you need to convert 50 scripts 4 times. You cannot take 4 missions at the same time and then put 200 script onto the freight elevator. No. You have to take 1 mission, put the script on the freight elevator, put it down, you get the mission, you got your Wikelo favor, and you have to do the same process 4 times for 4 favors. Now, can you imagine how it's going to be if you need 50 Wikelo favors for some of the more expensive ships? You are going to spend your entire, not day, your entire week doing that, because it's not just the favor, you have also plenty of other things to be exchanging for that. It's absolutely horrible, and I can't believe that after all these times, all the feedback that we have given to CIG, they still haven't allowed us to take at least multiple favor contracts so that we can accumulate all of them and then put all of the script on the freight elevator and get all the favors at the same time. CIG, please, after 1 year of playability, it would be nice to have this very nice quality of life improvements. And so this is it here. These are my 10 items on my wish list of things that I wish CIG could improve in 2026. We're just getting started here. This video is not to bash on CIG. I do that to give constructive criticism and feedback, and I just want the experience to be better, just like the huge majority of you guys as well. If you too have perhaps some ideas about what CIG could do to improve the overall experience, well, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section down below. That is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I wouldn't be able to make all of that content without my Patreon and YouTube members, including Dr. Fabin, Soccer Tarcisius, The Key to Docker, Shadow Rise, and Zero Crusher. I've been Irad, and I'll see you guys in the next one.